Welcome back to Success Today. I am Bob Guiney, and I'm joined here by the beautiful Susan Moody. Susan, you're such an inspiration to talk to. I mean, you're an entrepreneur to the nth degree. You've been involved in several different businesses, several small businesses, an author, a speaker. There's so many things. So how did you get started in all this? Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I got started because I got really tired of playing by everybody else's rules. And so I got to a point where I figured out that I need to do what works for me.
Right.
And so I think everybody can kind of define success, what works for us.
Sure.
And I started doing that, and started working, and then people are saying, well, how is that working for you? How are you doing what you're doing? And so that's why we got into coaching.
That's great. And have you had a lot of experiences where you've seen people come into you and they're kind of feeling like they don't know what their focus is or what their direction is, and you're kind of right in the rudder for them?
Well, what happens is they just know they're not happy.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. But they say they don't know what's going to make them happy. Well, the first thing they can do is actually write down what they don't like about their life. So I don't like where I'm living. I don't like my job. I don't like my car.
Yeah.
And then you kind of say, all right, so if you don't like your job, does that mean you don't like the company you're working for? You don't like the position you're in? Maybe you think you should be working for yourself? So you can start kind of delving down to figure out what they would like.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
like
kind
that.
Of a
yeah, it's interesting. It seems a little more of a unique approach because I always hear people say, oh, well, you talk about what you want. And it sounds like what I like about what you're saying is, tell me the truth about your life, and then we'll help you figure out the right direction to go. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a little different approach, isn't it? Because it seems a little, sometimes, and please forgive me, but sometimes when people start talking about this stuff, it's a little pie in the sky.
Yes.
And this seems a little more realistic.
As they say, well, if I knew what I wanted, wouldn't I be doing it? So we just help you kind of figure that out.
So we say, well, let's talk about what you're doing and figure out what you don't like.
Exactly.
That's pretty great. Yeah. I love it. Now you've contributed to a couple books. You've written a book as well. Tell me about that.
This book?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I was telling you before, people kept asking me, how am I so successful? What am I doing? And so when I really stepped back and thought about it, I realized I actually have a process that I use. And I call it my simple C success process.
Okay.
So the first C is clarity. We need to know what it is that you do want. The second C is confidence. Why do you want it? What are your core values? You have to be really attuned to what you want and why you want it.
Right.
And then we come up with the course in action. And then you need to have courage. You still have to take the steps.
Right.
And then you need to have a commitment. You have to be committed to yourself. It's easier to be committed to others. And then you need a coach or a mentor, someone to support you along the way. So my simple C success system, which is called Seize the Day.
I love it.
That's the name of the book.
That is wonderful. and obviously, I think having a mentor is important because, let's not kid, a lot of us will get to a point where things are not going to be as easy as we hoped they'd be.
They're never going to be.
Never going to be, right?
Right?
And in those moments, you need someone to turn to who will reinstill that faith in you to keep going.
Right. And it's not always your friends and your family.
Right.
Right? Because they don't always understand why you want what you want. Why do you want anything different? They think you have a good life.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's not your friends and family. You need to have some like-minded people.
Sure.
Meetup group, networking association, coach or mentor.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm excited to read this. Now, also, I mean, having all the experiences that you've had, I can imagine you've encountered quite a few people. Can you tell me a few of the success stories in particular that ring true to you?
Well, I don't like to take account for my client's success because, like I said, they have to do the work.
Right.
Now, have I helped them transition from a six-figure income to doing their own business and making a six-figure income? Yes.
Yeah.
Have they been able to figure out how to buy a house? A single mom, how could she buy a house when she didn't think she could afford it, but she wanted a stable home for her children? Yes. So I've helped a lot of clients transition in their lives, but they're their own success story.
Right. So you're really more about empowering them and guiding them as opposed to. And so the C's are really more of a guideline, not necessarily a prescription to success. They're more of a, do these things, embody these things, and allow me to help you get there.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen a ton of success from that.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's really inspirational for me.
Right.
To see others succeed.
Now, I know you live in the Southwest. Do you think rules like these apply no matter where you are?
I do, and I think it applies whether it's you're looking to improve your life or improve your business. The process is the same. Your focus may be different, but you still have to go through the same process.
Sure, and you still have to probably encounter a lot of the same difficulties and hurdles and everything else, so there's a real good way to kind of navigate through all that. And if you felt like, for you, I mean, obviously you came from a different background, I'm sure, than this. Did you learn all of these rules by trial and error for you?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was a smart woman, made stupid choices, and life lessons. You know, and then decided I need to do what works for me. I grew up and followed the rules, and still ended up with a divorce. Still ended up with a crappy job. And so I thought, well, let's play by my own rules and
Sure.
let's see what happens. So I started doing the what if. What if I did this? What if I did that? And that's a lot of times how people start. You know, what if?
Yeah, and then it's actually putting those plans into action, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm a divorce guy myself, so high five on that. Well done. You know, you gotta go through one of those to get to the other side sometimes. At least some of us do. Well, I think that's wonderful, and I love that. Now, you have a lot of different ways that people can get a hold of you, right? You have your website and things of that nature. Tell our viewers on Success Today how they can reach you.
Well, they can go to my website. It's u-succeed.com. And I'm happy if they go there to give them a free gift to kind of get them started. Because the first thing you have to do is take action.
Right.
And that's part of Seize the Day. So if you take action, go to my website. I'll give you a free gift for going there.
That's awesome. And they can also find out information about your book while they're on the line. Oh, that's beautiful.
And my group and individual coaching sessions as well.
Great job. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Bob.
You are an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and
that's
lovely
my
to
hopes.
talk to you. Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
all right. Thank you very much.
Continued success.